The U.S. is building its case for a military strike against Syria, which could come in just days. U.S. officials plan to release an intelligence report as early as today. It ties the Syrian government to last week's alleged chemical weapons attack that killed hundreds of civilians.
Meanwhile, some of Syria's rebels say they're helping the U.S. choose potential targets. Holly Williams is on the Turkey-Syria border. Holly, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony and Gail. We've just been hearing from the United Nations envoy to Syria, Lakhdar Brahimi, who said that evidence suggests a chemical substance did kill hundreds of people last week. But he warned that any military response should be approved by the UN Security Council. Inside Syria, UN weapons inspectors began their work again today, 2 days after their team came under sniper fire. The inspectors' convoy headed off for the scene of last week's alleged chemical attack after security concerns forced them to postpone their investigation yesterday. They're operating in a city that's become a war zone. The suburbs of Damascus were pounded again yesterday, as they have been relentlessly in Syria's deadly civil war. If the US does launch strikes against the regime, many Syrians will welcome it. Brigadier General Mohammed Aboud is a leader of the country's armed opposition, the Free Syrian Army. He told us he commands 10,000 fighters and believes US strikes would help his side win the war. He said the opposition has passed on information about possible targets to the US, though we don't know how that information is being treated. The UN weapons inspectors are still trying to determine for sure whether chemical weapons were used in last week's attack. They're taking soil and tissue samples from the area that was hit. But more countries have joined the US in saying that it was a chemical strike carried out by the Syrian government. American allies, Britain, France and Turkey all support a military response, even if it's done without the approval of the UN Security Council. With expectations mounting of US-led strikes, in Israel people scrambled to pick up new gas masks. They're worried the Syrian regime might retaliate against Israel, as Iraq did in the first Gulf War. In Syria's complex conflict, US strikes would anger many countries in this part of the world, including Iran, which supports the Syrian regime, but also Saudi Arabia, which backs the Syrian opposition. Anthony, Gail.
Holly Williams along the Syrian border. Thanks.